Got some Lions news and rumors for you folks today in this video. Good news and one step closer, fully prepped for training camp. That is for the Lions roster, so we're going to get into that. A couple of players from Fansided SideLion reports that Lions should make a trade for these players. We're going to go through those trades. Is it realistic? Is it just something to talk about from their perspective? I'll give you my thoughts. But before we get into today's video, if you're a Lions fan and you are loving all things Detroit Lions, you need to subscribe to this channel, because that's all I do on this bad boy is talk Detroit Lions, and we get into it insanely. Let's go ahead and get this thing going. Quick news before we get into the rumors portion of this video. Jahmyr Gibbs has signed with the Detroit Lions. Yes, he is now under contract. Great news for Detroit. Great news for the Lions to get him under contract. Again, it's not like it's shocking or it's absolutely out of the realm, because with the rookie pay scale, these guys are generally under contract before training camp. It's just good news that he is already good to go, signed, sealed, and delivered for training camp that starts in about 2 weeks. There's only one player left on the Lions rookie class that is not signed, and we expect him fully to be signed here shortly, and that's safety Brian Branch, who the Lions got in round 2. Why is it probably taking a little bit? Well, because he was projected to be a first-round talent, fell to the second round. I suspect he'll be signed any day. When that happens, we'll let you know in a video. That is for sure. So give me a one-word reaction to Jahmyr Gibbs being signed. Mine is Yahoo! That is my one-word reaction. Happy for it because I'm ready for training camp. So give me your one-word reaction to him being signed. Let's get into the rumors portion of this video, and we are going to Fansided. As you know, it's another day, and as another day happens, we get more trade talk for players, whether it be before training camp or during training camp, to upgrade the Lions roster. It's just a part of what this offseason has been. Honestly, I've been doing this for 4 years. This is the most amount of content talked about trade talk for said players to the Detroit Lions. Why is that? I think it's been a boring offseason. Nothing really is happening regards to news. Last year you had HBO Hard Knocks. This year we have HBO No Knocks. So we don't got nothing going on. And I think that people are a little bit bored and trying to make something out of nothing. And also the hype for the Detroit Lions is to the next level this year. That's why you're getting this. So we're going to go through these players that they believe the Detroit Lions should trade for to turn into a championship contender by Brad Berryman here from Fansided SideLion Report. And I'll give you my thoughts on these said players. So let's go ahead and start this bad boy out. And the first player here is Michael Pittman, wide receiver from the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts get a 2024 second-round draft pick. Michael Pittman is a good wide receiver, young wide receiver, ex-wide receiver, could play on the outside. He is a guy that would definitely open it up for Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta in the middle. He would be an upgrade over DJ Chark, whom we lost in free agency. And I think he would kind of be the replacement for Marvin Jones Jr. Would the Detroit Lions make this trade? No, I don't see it happening. Not at all. Why? Because we have Marvin Jones Jr. Why? Because we have Jameson Williams. Why? Because it would be a second-round pick. Also, why? The Colts aren't going to trade him, in my opinion, as they're trying to build something over there offensively, because they just drafted their rookie quarterback. The rookie quarterback needs weapons, and the fan base for the Colts is going to freaking absolutely go nuts if they don't start winning football games. They've had a miserable season the past couple of years. They do have talent over there. They just needed a quarterback. They got their quarterback, but he's a rookie. So what does rookies need? Talent around him. Why would they go ahead and trade their wide receiver to the Detroit Lions when they need to get Richardson some talent around him? And it does sound like he potentially could be starting. He's not going to redshirt for them, who then they need every specific player on this bad boy. They're talking about the amount of yards he got in 21 and 22, 1,000 yards, almost another 1,000 yards, 99, 88 receptions. Look, he probably would have got way more if they actually had a competent quarterback for the Colts. So it's not like he is a bum. He is a good player, but again, you would have to pay him. You would then say, Marvin Jones Jr. or Josh Reynolds, what are you doing here? Doesn't make a lot of sense if you ask me. But that is my personal opinion. So I'm going to ask you a question for the pinned comment of this video. Should the Detroit Lions trade for Michael Pittman? Put T for trade or P for pass. Yes. Can't wait to see what you guys think in the comments below. Let's continue on here with the next player, whom there's been no talk about this player coming to the Detroit Lions or being in a trade at all. From what I've heard, it's an interesting name, no, because it's Maxx Crosby, and this guy is an absolute stud at the edge. A 2024 second-round pick and a 2025 second-round pick. So 2 second-round picks to get Maxx Crosby. Actually, I think for what he brings to his team and what he would bring to the Lions or any other team, I think that is a good deal. He'll probably fetch, if they were to try to trade him, if they were trying, the word's trying, it'd probably be a first-round pick. He's a young player. He's one of the best edge rushers in football, Pro Bowler. He's just a very good player, and he's young as well. He is a guy that is a foundational piece. He would be absolutely amazing across from Aiden Hutchinson. That is something that they could do if they were in sell mode. I don't know if that's the case. It's hard to really tell with McDaniels over there for the Patriots. Go from the Patriots, go to the Raiders. The Raiders suck last year. The fans are angry. But he is a guy that will trade players, and he don't care what anyone says. At the same time, they got to win football games, and Crosby is one of the best ones. Should the Detroit Lions trade for Maxx Crosby? No, I don't think they should. I think the cost is too high for the Lions. We're trying to draft our players, and to give up 2 second-round picks for 2 straight years, it's just something that doesn't make a lot of sense for Brad Holmes. When you can just draft your edge rushers in the next year's draft, we got to consistently, we got to think about the now 100%, and I fully agree that the time is now. But we also need to think about the future and just draft your players. Brad Holmes has done a phenomenal job in the draft since being general manager for the Detroit Lions. Let's go ahead and just sit back and let this guy build his team the way he wants to do it, and he has been preaching through the draft. I love Maxx Crosby. I do. I think he's an amazing player, and I think the Detroit Lions would be much better if he came on this roster. But you're going to have to pay this guy big money because he is still young. Because if you're trading for him, it's going to be for the long haul. Okay? Giving up premium talent whom you can get players in the draft who would be on a rookie contract much cheaper, whom you can develop. Who are you going to get rid of? Obviously, Julian Okwara would be gone at this opinion. You would have to kind of worry about the future contracts of some players on this football team if you get him, because you can't pay everybody. So there's a lot of reasons why this, in my opinion, doesn't happen. But I do like the innovation here of Brad Berryman to come up with a player whom no one has talked about. I do think that's a good thing because, well, let's be honest here. We talk about the same players, and it does get bored after a little bit. It does get bored. And I think, boy, if he was able on the trade market, all I can say is I just hope no NFC North team gets him because I wouldn't want to face this guy twice a year. That is for sure. Comment in the comment section right now. Would you trade for Maxx Crosby? T for trade or P for pass? Let's continue on to the final player whom they have the Detroit Lions trading for here, and that is Cooper Kupp, whom has been in the Lions news and rumors as of late as a player whom the Lions could trade for. Here, it's a 2024 first-round pick, a 2024 third-round pick, and a 2025 third-round pick. I think that is actually the right compensation for his player, for what he brings to a team. So if any team trades for him, I think that's probably what you're going to get, maybe even 2 first-round picks each year. That's how good he is. Why he's the best receiver in the NFL. Not last year due to injury, but the year before, almost beating Calvin Johnson's record. He would make the Detroit Lions a Super Bowl contender. But again, you're going to have to pay this guy buku money. You're going to have to give up mad draft capital. And you already got players at wide receiver whom we did draft, like Jameson Williams, you want to develop. Do the Lions trade for him? I don't believe so at all. So I'm just going to keep it 100 here. I think that is a far cry from what would happen. If the Lions were to trade for any type of player, it'd probably be on the interior of the defensive line. I think that would probably be the position they would go at. Wide receiver seems a little bit off to me, unless there's an injury. Everything is always unless there's an injury, because that changes anything. Like if you lose a St. Brown, you're going to have to get a replacement. But in my opinion, they're not trading for Cooper Kupp. They're not trading for anybody at this point unless there's an injury, and you have to wait for the trade deadline. I think that's different. They may make a trade right before the trade deadline if the team is going well. That is something I'll put a caveat in there. But let me know in the comment section, would you trade for Cooper Kupp? Y for yes, N for no, or T for trade, or P for pass. We're dropping videos here every single day, folks. Monday through Sunday. As soon as the NFL season starts, it gets cray-cray. We're going to be doing live watch parties and getting a lot of player interviews, getting a lot of one-on-one times. FYI. A lot of good news that we're going to be talking here on Lions Nation Unite in this personal channel for the growth that has taken place. And as soon as I get that information, I cannot wait to let you all know. It's going to be amazing. It's going to take the channel to the next level, big time. So make sure you hit that notification bell. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe and all that lovely stuff. With that said, folks, adios.